What's going on? And that's Canadian Landscaper coming at you here today with a video about our '04 GMC 2500 HD. It's a 6-liter gas. It's got right around 240,000 kilometers on it. It passed annual safety after a little bit of work to it this spring. It's a real nice clean truck. Little bit of rust here. Fenders are going to have to be replaced next summer, and the rear bumper will have to be replaced next summer. This was a truck that I bought as sort of a short-term truck, and now we're into a long-term truck. So we picked up some more work this winter, and because I already had this truck and we picked up work, I decided we'll just put a plow on it. But, you know, it's an '04 truck. We're getting on into the year 2022. So it's about an 18-year-old truck. And so I didn't want to buy a new plow. A buddy of mine, he was going out of business. And I've helped him out before. We put custom wings on it. As you can see, there's a bit of a gap there that we're going to have to contend with. I'm either going to move that block in, or I do have 2 new rubber blocks that I might cut the size, but or I might leave it like that and put just a piece of rubber over there to capture the snow. But here's another thing, so that's not too big of a deal. But as soon as I put this plow on, and of course I've painted it, and that it's got a lot of blemishes up front. You know, you can see gouge there. But you know, when you stand back, you know, 10 feet, it looks a lot better than faded red, because it's a poly blade that's old. You can see the fadeness there. I didn't get too concerned about painting the back of it. I just kind of wanted what people could see to look pretty. I didn't want it to be something that like caught policemen's eyes or anything like that. If you keep your stuff looking nice, a lot of times people leave you alone because your stuff looks decent. So the light needs, you know, the light part, the outer lens is broken, so it's electrical taped together. It was like that before. I had these lights apart when I installed this plow, and I retaped it. As far as I'm concerned, it's sealed. The piece of tape isn't in any reflection of the light. It's not a perfect system, but these lights are quite expensive to go back to factory. I haven't explored a lot of aftermarket options yet. What happened was, as soon as I put this plow on, I had to go pick up a few things, and the back of this truck was empty, and I thought, well, I'll just take this truck. So I noticed it was about a 20-minute drive to where I was going, and it overheated real quick. So you've probably seen stuff like this before. There's a company out there that makes these. I just had my buddy who's a fabricator make them. And then we also had to make this scoop here to capture the wind to go down into the grill. These helped. They helped. But they did not solve the issue 100%. But they absolutely helped. They may not be as pretty as anything, but we did smoke test them. You know, we fired up a smoke machine with the fan, and we kind of smoke tested it, and we did a bunch of test runs. So this truck was overheating, and a lot of people were telling me when I got digging into the research of this that, well, you need to put the continuous duty clutch fan in, and that'll solve your problems. Some people were saying run the blade in the straight position as low to the ground as you can, and we did try that. It made absolutely no improvement whatsoever in that scenario. So the problem with running a continuous duty fan is that it's a factory hookup and it's a factory fan, but they'll run continuously. So you're going to burn through a lot more fuel, which you could tolerate during a snowstorm. But in the summertime, when you're just doing average work with it, that's becomes rather intolerable. So you know, especially at today's fuel prices. So I'm not against, I'm still thinking what I might do is get like a couple of small auxiliary fans for the left and right side, and I'll run them into a toggle switch that can suck more air into it, and that way I can run them on command with this, along with the Duramax. Like if you get one of these trucks that's a Duramax, it's got the room in that far corner there for another battery. I'm probably going to throw another battery in this truck. I just got to get the extra tray. Plumbing the 2 batteries is easy. So once it has 2 batteries, it'll run the plow, the lights, and if I decide to put in extra fans, it'll run that, and it shouldn't overload anything that way. Sorry about my finger, guys. But yeah, this has been a great truck. It's getting a little old, maybe. I mean, I got lots of old trucks. I mean, you know, half my fleet, over half my fleet. I've only got the 2016 Dodge. I got a 99 Chev. I got this 04 GM, and I got an 02 Chev dump truck. And they're all older, but I'm quite mechanically inclined. Dad is a licensed mechanic, so we keep care of the stuff real good. Here in Canada, when you run commercial vehicles, they have to pass annual safety every year. So we do all the work to get it ready. As you see, we have the lift and everything, and then we send it out to a third-party shop of our choosing, and then they have to, you know, undo the bolts and all that stuff, and you know, take out the tires, measure the brakes, go through it, make sure you know, everything is mechanically up to snuff. We have no control over that, so they have to meet that garage's standard to be able to get that sticker every year. So, like I say, you know, when you have that, when you have the government forcing you to keep these vehicles in a safetyable condition every year, it does force you to keep them absolutely 100% maintained. So this is basically the plow as you see it. I think it's an 8-foot plow, and then we added the wings. They're not removable in this situation. We put them on when it was my buddy's plow, and they were off a straight plow that were all bent up. We straightened them back out, reinforced them with steel, and we just welded them to this plow. Considering this is not like a... If I want to drive this truck around personally outside of a snowstorm, I'll just take the blade off. With it fully retracted, we do stay underneath the 102 inches legal road requirements, which is great. And so this is legal to run down the road this way. It doesn't matter that the wings are welded. Like I say, we stay underneath our 102 inches. I forget exactly what it was, but I know it was under that. Like I say, and these wind deflectors did help. We did piles of testing, smoke testing. It did work sufficiently well. It should go from there. The truck, you know, I wasn't intending on plowing with this truck. So the tires that were on it, like, they passed safety and the spring, and I figured, I knew at that point, like, they weren't great, but they weren't terrible. If I wasn't going to plow with it, it'd make it through, you know, part-time usage in the winter, and, you know, the following summer, and then I'd have to look into tires. But now, since we've put the plow on it, we're going to put new tires on it tomorrow. We put on, last year I bought Firestone Destinations for my 99. My guy that ran that truck all winter really liked them. Then my Dodge needed tires in the spring, and because they seemed to work out okay on that truck, we went with Firestone Destinations as well. And this is going to get Firestone Destinations as well. Like I say, we're going to have to get a new bumper for this. The people that safetied it said, like, it's not a hole yet, but They basically told us that we're gonna have to put a bumper on it, a couple fenders and their back bumper on it for next year. But other than that, you know, for an 04, for a truck that's lived in the snow belt, it is a clean truck. It's an 8-foot bed, so it's a long truck to be plowing with, absolutely. It's dirty now, needs a bath. But we're gonna run with this. I know, like, these airflow systems, they may not look the prettiest. They certainly looked a lot worse yesterday before they had any paint on them at all. But at least now with paint, they look a little more like they're supposed to be there. Yesterday they were just raw steel. They may not be the engineered version ones that that website sells, or that company. But I mean, I also paid the fabricator, without paint, mind you. I had to paint them, and it's certainly not no powder coat paint job. But I mean, he charged me under 1/3 of the price. So with that being said, guys, this is Canadian Landscaper coming at you. We're gonna go up here on the going on the 3rd year snow review on the Snow X Helix poly version, 5 yard. That video is coming down the pipeline. We'll catch y'all later. Have a great day.